Ready? Zachariah Jackson, Bassett News. I'm in Elizabeth, New Jersey, Union County Correctional Facility, I imagine you call it. And Salaam, I'm interviewing Salaam Ismiall. Salaam, you called me to come out here to do the interview.
Right.
And exactly what's going on here in Elizabeth.
Well, here's the deal. Okay, first of all, this is the Union County Jail facility right behind me, right here. They're talking about closing this facility out. This facility has been here since 1989. It's also connected to the old jail. Now, the issue is why they're closing it down. That's the problem. I got a call from some of the correctional officers about them closing down the facility, and people are asking, well, why? Now, some may ask, well, they're only inmates. Well, they still people of color. That is, majority is locked up, majority is sentenced, and majority are also convicted and sentenced to prisons around the state. And we already know that in New Jersey, we have a serious problem with our criminal justice system.
Sure.
Right now in New Jersey, blacks have the highest rate of incarceration in the nation at 61%. And of course, these counties are the ones that are doing the lockup. Okay. Union County is certainly not exempt. So back to the jail. They're planning on shutting this facility down, moving all the inmates to Newark, which is Essex County.
Sure.
And then from there, they're going to, what do you call, they're going to...
So Salaam, when they close this down, where are the correction? Is the corrections officers going to Newark to work also, or they'll be laid off?
They have been receiving mixed signals. On some occasions, they're telling them that majority of them are going to go to Essex County, but in some cases, many of them are going to be either laid off or what have you. The problem with that is beyond that the fact that 90% of the correction officers are black and brown, beyond the fact that these are people that live in our community here, but also the fact that what's going to happen is it's going to disrupt this entire system.
So let me ask you this, Salaam. Why are they closing it down? The place has just been, open, this part here been erected in 1989, so it's not really that old. So what is the real reason that they're closing it down?
Well, they said it's about money. They said that they don't want to get out of the jail business. They say that because of so-called jail reform, less people coming into jail. But see, bail reform is only mean that you don't have a...
Okay, but this is not a prison. This is a holding jail, right?
Exactly. This is state jail. This is the county jail.
County jail.
So you can do some time here. You can do 6 months to up to 2 years.
Up to 2 years.
Jail.
Okay.
So even though we have a bail reform, meaning that there are people that are bail, that you can come in, you'll go back out because there's no bail system anymore per se.
Sure.
However, you're still going to still have to go through the process. You're still charged with a crime, and you're still going to have to end up either in here or somewhere else.
So in somewhere else, you're saying it's Essex County?
Well, that's somewhere else now going to be Essex County. Now here's the problem. First of all, you already know public defenders are overwhelmed anyway. Sure. They're government attorneys. They're overwhelmed anyway. So to have contact with their clients, which would be right here, now they got to travel to Essex County, which is 6 miles away.
Sure.
And no offense to public defenders, but people call them public pretenders because they do not an adamant job, and so they're not going to be. They're not halfway come to the county jail here locally. What makes you think they're going to travel 6 miles somewhere else? And so that's one problem. Secondly, it's going to delay all court proceedings, which impacts on people's cases. And thirdly, families going to be impacted. Now they can't just come and just take a bus and come right here, or they can't walk and just come right here. Now they got to go to another county, which is probably going to be overloaded from the inmates they're going to get from this county to Newark.
So in other words, Salaam, so if they have an arrest, right? If they have an arrest, they won't have a place to hold them, so they would have to take them to Essex County. Is that how it's going to work?
I'm assuming, because if this jail is shut down, I'm assuming once they arrest them here in Elizabeth on local charges, or in Linden in that case, or Roselle in that case, or even in in
Plainfield.
Plainfield, in that case, they're going to have to travel and bring them into Newark, where they're going to be, that's going to be their facility. Now the problem is, again, that it impacts the court proceedings. That means a lot of the judges' cases are going to be backed up because these are guys that have to come be shipped over here to go to court. They still have to go to court here. They still have to serve whatever possibilities here. So those are the things that are happening. So why that's so important that we, the Joe public, because of the statistics I just gave you.
Sure.
New Jersey, they lock up more African Americans per capita than any state in the nation. So we should be on this. Now, right now, this is like the beginning stages. I was actually planning a rally with the correction officers. They've been since getting letters from their administration telling them, don't do no rallies, otherwise you violate policy, whatever. And I'm telling them that's not true because, number one, you have a right to free speech. I mean, to speak on behalf of the county, no, you can't do that. But you can speak out for your job. So they're in the process, been going back and forth and with the county on what they're going to do with their workers, because after all, they are civil service. And so that's pretty much where it's at. I mean, so what we're going to do is keep putting the pressure on. I'm going to be planning some rallies. I'm going to be putting together some things, and really try to get other organizations involved. Tonight at 5 o'clock is their freeholder meeting, which will be in about another 5 minutes or so. I plan to speak at that freeholder meeting, and I'll speak loud on it. I don't know, Guy, you want to say anything? It's your area of expertise.
All right.
We good. Mm-hmm. So,
okay, again, that we'll be in contact, Salaam, and follow this out.
We ain't finished yet for the day. We're not finished for the day. I just want to.
And we will be in touch. Again, this is Zachariah Jackson, Bassa News. Good night.